911 when 70th Street somebody was shooting us. What happened? They were out there fighting.
Detectives arrived to the scene, find a male victim beside an apartment building, hit multiple times with the oo-wop, and a woman in an apartment building driveway hit multiple times with the oo-wop. So the detectives start questioning people at the scene. First guy they speak to said he arrived and heard that Gracie and Pooh was shot. Gracie was 28 years old, mother of 2 sons and a daughter. Her husband was identified as Adrian. He was 29 years old. They were high school sweethearts. He also said Pooh was putting hands on dude. Then he left and came back with the oo-wop, hit Pooh, then Gracie. Then detectives get a break. A relative come forward and say the victim's 10-year-old daughter saw everything. So the detectives head out there to talk to the daughter. She stated that her dad was talking to the boy. Then he slapped him. Dude went into the alley, grabbed the oo-wop, come back, hit her dad. Her mom walked in front of the truck and got hit 2 times. She said the guy has 2 cross tattoos on his face. So they leave there, head back to the scene. A woman approached the detectives and says she knows everything, but doesn't know his name. She says he has 2 tattoos under both eyes, same as the 10-year-old daughter stated. And if she was to see a picture, she can ID him. So detectives head back to the station feeling good about the case so far. They get a phone call from an anonymous tip saying a guy named Carter had a fight with Pooh. So they look this guy up in the database, take the photo to both witnesses. Neither one of them could pick him out of the photo lineup. But while they was there, a family member approached the detectives and said the guy who did it name was Bo. She also drew a picture of the crosses that he has on his face. So with that information, they head back to the station, check the police database for Bo. Hopefully they see a Bo with tattoos on his face. Couldn't narrow it down and come up with anything. So they decide to reach out to the media.
Police tell us the suspect is around 19 years old and has 2 tattoos on his face, who they say goes by the street name of Bo.
After that, calls start coming in. A caller stated that the guy on the news name is Benito Santiago, nicknamed Bo. So they enter Benito in a database. They get his picture, but it doesn't show the tattoos. So they take the photo, put together a lineup, take it to the woman who they met at the scene earlier, who said that she can ID him if she see a photo. She picks him out of the lineup. So they head back to the station. One of Bo's relatives called and told detectives where to find Bo because they're being threatened by the streets. So they head over there, snatch Bo up, take him to the station. So the detective tell Bo that he's about to go to jail for a long time. Bo says, and I eat, drink, and sleep free. So they show him a picture of the victims, and he starts laughing. So the detectives leave upset, take that photo lineup to the 10-year-old daughter. She also picks him out the lineup. So they head back to the station, charge Bo with 2 counts of first-degree M. He is currently awaiting trial.
Investigators lacked physical evidence. There were no fingerprints, no gun, and no DNA linking Benito to the crime.
So 6 years after Benito was charged and arrested, the trial began. It took 6 years because Benito kept firing attorneys and held up the trial for 6 years. But at the same time, he was writing letters to the judge stating his innocence and saying that he wanted the trial to begin. So after the court stopped playing games with him, they assigned Greenstein to defend him. Greenstein only had 6 weeks to prepare for the trial. So Greenstein's strategy was banking on the fact that there was no physical evidence, no fingerprints, no weapon found. But he also knew that his client had those tattoos under his eye was going to be a problem because he was positively ID'd by that. So August the 20th, 2012, the trial began. Prosecutors called the first witness, CSI investigator. She asked him to explain to the jury what's in the photos. He stated the first photo was of the crime scene. He said all the photos of the green markers are the casings. So that's all the prosecutor had for him, not a defense question. All he asked him was, were you able to get any fingerprints off any of the casings? CSI investigator said no. So now the state calls the eyewitness to the stand. She's now 16 years old. So the state start by asking her, do she remember the events of that day? She stated yes. A man was arguing with her dad, then they started fighting. She said she went inside the house and watched from the window. while her mom was outside trying to break up the fight. Once they stopped fighting, she said the guy went in the alley. She came back outside and saw him lift his hand and fire. She went back in the house and watched from the window. She stated everybody started running, so she came back outside looking for her parents. She heard her mom saying she was hit. So the prosecutor asked, did you hear any more shots after the first one? She said maybe 5, but she don't really remember exactly how many. So then the prosecutor asked, did you see the guy in court today who committed this crime against your parents? She stated yes. He's wearing a white suit shirt and a black tie. So now the defense starts his questioning of the witness. He asked, was the only time she outside was doing the first shot? She stated yes. The defense whole goal here is trying to prove that maybe she didn't see everything if she's in the house looking through a window. So Greenstein starts to read her deposition. She was asked, when you came outside, did you ever see Benito? She stated no. Next question they asked, only time you saw him was from inside the house. She stated yes. So Greenstein asked her, do she remember saying that? She said no. Maybe she was confused. So both sides rest. It took 2 hours for the jury to come back, find Benito guilty of 2 counts of first-degree M. He received 2 consecutive 30-year sentences. Thank you for watching. Leave me some comments. Hit that like button. I'm done talking.
The jury and find the defendant. Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty.
And that's when he started to cry.